Let us talk Twisters, and this is Twisters that both you and Sean saw, which I believe
Yes.
that this and I believe Twisters is like it's kind of a sequel to Twister from the '90s,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's some connective tissue, but not majorly. So
It's a sequel in the fact in as much as it features tornadoes and it features people driving around in big vehicles chasing
yep.
tornadoes. That's your connection to the first film. And they have these they made the machines Dorothy's.
Dorothy, yep, yep, yep.
The trying to
Scarecrow.
dis-
Yeah.
yeah, trying to dispute they're like this.
Yeah. Yeah, they got
So
like three
you
trucks
see,
called Scarecrow, Tin Man,
yeah,
and
they've got
Lion.
the nods, the
Lion.
Dorothy,
Yeah.
the Wizard of Oz nods. And so yeah, they had you see Dorothy 5 in this, whereas in the last Twisters film, the last Dorothy that the original cast made was called Dorothy 4. So you know that their work continued at the university beyond the last film, and
Yep.
that these people are picking up the ends of that sort of technology and bringing it into their own vision of the future. But the story is basically um, students at the beginning of the film are chasing tornadoes, trying to study them, um, trying to find out how tornadoes work, how you can get a better early warning system, more or less like the film Twister.
Yeah.
And then horrible things happen, a bit like in the film Twister. And one of them decides that no, she's not going to do that anymore. She's not going to be a storm chaser anymore because nasty things happen when you chase storms, a bit like in the film Twister. And then a few years pass, and then something happens that someone they used to know says, "Oh, come and do this because it'd be really
Just when I thought I
amazing.
was out, they pull me back
I'm
in.
going to do this," and it's about the science, not the thrills, a bit like in the film Twister.
Yeah.
And and then we see a lot of mayhem, storms, vehicles, things flying in the air. You
Oh,
know the
normal stuff.
drill.
And to be honest with you, that is what I want from this film. I want
Yeah,
the mayhem. I want the mayhem, and it's like, yeah, I know you need to have some semblance of a storyline that kind of holds things together. But what we came here to see a cow go round and round, like 3 times past the camera. That's what we came here to see. So with that being said, okay, we know with that we have things, blah blah blah, twisters, whatever. Sean, what did you think?
Okay, well, yeah. So this film, oh dear, I don't know, so cliched, so cliched. It really was. I was like, oh my God, and I mean, there's times I know I'm into. I expected. I went in expecting this to be, yes, I'm gonna know that this is quite implausible. A lot of this, or if not implausible, incredibly lucky.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh, let's grab that. Yeah. So this
yeah, yeah,
thing
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
again caused mayhem, and yet there's certain times they manage to stop people getting sucked up, and
Yeah.
it's like, do
yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, really, really cliche. And I couldn't believe for an instant that there was no. I didn't really think there was any body chemistry between what were supposed to be two of the characters, myself, or I just didn't believe it. It was.
That's the Glenn
And
Powell and the Daisy Edgar Jones
yeah,
character.
and also the dude who was at the beginning of the film that brings her back in. I don't know who he is, but I don't know.
Anthony Ramos.
Anthony Ramos. I just don't. I mean, I didn't. He come across as like you're awful. What an awful actor you are. You know what I mean? You cannot act to save your life. You're just so unconvincing.
Oh,
But
that's weird. I actually quite like him.
do you? Do you
Yeah,
really?
because
Yeah.
he was in a Star Is Born. He was in Hamilton on the stage. He was in the last Transformers movie, which is probably I don't think anybody came out of that looking good.
No.
So
I,
he
I,
was
well, just to
he
me, I
was
just
in the
didn't.
Heights. Yeah,
And they didn't really, for he brought her back in because obviously he had a real major crush on her, and he didn't really fight. And he was like, "Oh, go off with the other bloke." Oh, right, okay, then that's fair enough. I'm not going to be too worried. Maybe a little bit worried, but in the end, it's all going to be nice. It's all going to be nicey. And I
yeah.
mean,
I
the,
think
the
I think
best.
in a position or so like different from Deadpool and Wolverine, where we were like, oh, we haven't given any spoilers. I feel like you can't really give spoilers for this film. You kind of know what's going to happen.
Gonna happen. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So the love triangle, whatever, wasn't really a love triangle in any way, shape, or form. I didn't feel, um, as I say, and it's just this was just what I was expecting it to be. It was just a fill-in. In fact, it was a bit like Sharon was saying about Captive State or whatever. It was just like where this is going. I mean, this was better than Sharon's review of Captive State, obviously, but it just to me it was just full of cliches, really. So it was totally plausible and unbelievable, but then you did get the mayhem.
Yeah, I did go to see this with my friend Rachel, who I work with him as part of our bubble. So me and Rachel went to see it with the expectation that there would be some sort of connection to the earlier film. And we were actually kept waiting to see if there'd be a cameo or there'd be something to link it to the first film.
Turn out that, guess what? She's his daughter.
We were just waiting for something for it to be other than it's just like Twister plus 20. It's not a sequel. It's just like we've just remade the same film 20 years later with a completely different cast. But they're basically doing the same thing. So we just felt we came away thinking we were expecting something other than Dorothy 5. That literally is the only sort of visual link to the first Twister film. There were Easter eggs throughout. Apparently there were Easter eggs throughout, but you really had to be a Twister aficionado to spot them. So we both felt a little bit let down by that, the fact that it's called Twisters, but it could have been called Tornado Alley, because for me it had no connection to that first film at all. They were just like, yeah, to me it just didn't.
I mean, I've got to be honest. I wasn't really invested in the first film either. I know people raved about it, but I didn't.
I did like the first film. I did like the first film.
I have a soft spot for the first film because I remember it being it was the next big special effects extravaganza after Jurassic Park.
Yes, it came out in a similar time.
Yeah, and I remember the whole idea that they were pretty much saying, well, look, you see that Twister that's destroying that building? That Twister isn't really there. That building isn't really there. We made that in a computer. And I remember going, whoa, that's amazing. And I do remember that there's a bit of like a his Girl Friday thing going on with Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton in the first film. But I actually quite respect the fact that they haven't tried to shoehorn in characters from the first film or tried to shoehorn in some sort of legacy sequel to it. I personally, because there's a lot of these legacy sequels being made where like the worst offender recently for me was Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, where you try to bring people back from the original films and you try to shoehorn them in there when they have absolutely nothing to do. So for me, I kind of respect that.
They overdid it. Yeah, they definitely overdid it in Ghostbusters. But you would have liked to have seen a nod, because they had a scene where they were like in a house with like some photographs, and we was both of them going like, we tried to see this if the photographs like that.
Is that Helen Hunt?
Apparently they did have one of Bill Paxton in it, and Bill Paxton's son has a small role in this, so that's another nod. But yeah, we wanted some sort of link, really.
The one character I did like in this film was the girl's mum that worked on the farm.
Yes.
I thought I quite liked her when he goes, oh, he's staying. So yeah. Anyway, I agree
with you. Yeah, there was a lack of chemistry, and there was for us it lacked that sort of that connection which we wanted. It's an enjoyable enough film, but I would give it a 3 stars.
But how was the mayhem?
Yeah, and mayhem, but again, it was slightly inconsistent how, it was tearing buildings apart and driving a huge tram down the road, but then you've got someone running across the road to save a heroine, or they're suddenly driving a vehicle, and it's like, if it's powerful enough to drive a tram, surely it would move this vehicle.
Yeah. No, I agree. I thought
and
that,
they're driving away from
it.
It's like,
scene,
they're gone. And they're like ripping the bricks out of a wall. It's like, if it's strong enough to rip bricks out of a wall, then it will destroy that one thing.
Yeah. And as I say, that's where it comes to the time of like saving people. And also, Sharon, the bit where, we've got to go, it's going to hit the town, we've got to go back, we can't lay the stuff because we've got to go back to the town and help the people. And they're going, go. The people are sort of helping themselves, but they're still going, move over there. It reminded me a bit of one of those Alliance films, what are they called, where it's just like, everybody run.
Yeah.
And the swimming pool bit. And to me, it was just, they couldn't. Yeah. Let's save this person. Oh, look, they're going to be sucked up. Oh no, I've got you. Don't worry, I've got you. It's like, come on.
Well, I mean, one of the things.
The other one.
One of the things that sticks in my mind with the first one is that you do have that whole thing where the Twister is destroying buildings, and there's a whole bit where the Twister catches up with them towards the end of the first film, and they find this piece of metal that's stuck in the ground, and they might tie themselves.
Pump,
water pump, and they might tie themselves to it with with like
Belts.
a belt, with a belt or something like that, and it keeps them down on the floor. And I do remember thinking at the time, because I was an impressionable young, I was like, oh wow, you can do that? Okay, good, good, good. When I think about it now, I'm like, how strong is that belt? And forget about how strong that belt is.
One piece of metal, yeah.
If I forget about how strong the belt is, how strong are your torsos? Because wouldn't the belt just go right through your torsos? I mean, it's kind of, but now I think about it now, I'm like, but I will keep it. I'll keep the flag flying for Twister for 16-year-old Tosin.
Right.
I would say I would still give the original Twister sort of 4-star probably for sheer enjoyment value that I liked it.
Yeah.
But this one would a 3 from me.
Yeah, I mean,
and probably from Rach as well.
Yeah, I think for all its faults and everything like that, it was what I was expecting. So I wasn't too annoyed with what was going to go on because I knew exactly what was going to happen. So yeah, this is a film I won't ever bother to watch it again. I'll give it a 3-star, but I'll never ever watch this one. Same with the original Twisters. I'll never watch that again. I don't think.
Oh no,
it's funny. You know.
I think I would track this one down and try and find it.